So we are a subsidiary of Credit Saison Japan, which is a listed entity in Tokyo Stock Exchange and is one of the largest distributor of credit card in Japan. We started our operations in India around 2019, and over this period of the last 5-6 years, we have built an AUM of more than 14,000 crore. We are among the leading neo-lending NBFCs in the country. We are a AAA rated NBFC. How does this help? So this AAA rating helps us with a cheaper cost of funds, which helps us in giving a competitive product to our consumers. We have a large distribution network. We have set up a branch network of more than 45 branches across the country, and this has been expanding at a fast pace as we are entering into emerging markets as well, which is your tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Now I'll talk about the different verticals we have in the organization. We started in India with a wholesale and partnership model. We work with more than 50 plus enterprises across the country, different enterprises and NBFCs which are into different asset classes. On the partnership side, we started with a co-lending model with different fintechs and MFIs, both in consumer and MSME segment. We work with almost all top fintechs in the country on the co-lending model. We also have an embedded finance vertical where we have done deep integrations with a lot of platforms and digitized the entire consumer loans. The loans are end-to-end digital. On our branch side, as I said, we have a large network of branches where we provide different products such as small business loans, personal loans to the salaried, and we have also entered the secured segment with loan against property. In the journey so far, we have disbursed more than 3,000 crore of MSME loans. Now, let me talk about the opportunity in the MSME segment. So the current demand in the MSME segment is is around $1,500 million, and out of this, only 53% is the addressable demand, which is close to $819 billion. Out of this $819 billion, close to 300 crore is currently being addressed by the banks, which leaves a massive opportunity with a massive pool of opportunity of close to $530 billion market for the banks and the NBFCs. And the current contribution of MSMEs to the GDP is close to 30%, which is expected to grow to a level of 50% in next 5 years, which will further increase the demand in this segment. And this demand is majorly coming from the MSME segment in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. The good part is that as the demand is increasing, the bad rates, the delinquencies are also stable. According to a report published by TU last year, the delinquencies in this segment is one of the lowest over the last 2-3 years. Now, moving towards the product which we have built. So, who will be our target segments? So, we want to target to the most underserved segment. So, we have built a product where the loan amount starts as low as 2 lakh rupees, which can be repaid in a flexible EMI tenor, in a flexible tenor. And the target segment is the merchants, the enterprises with a turnover of as low as 25 lakhs can come and apply for a loan with us. Now, what are we solving for? So, we are solving two problems, one for the end consumers and one for our partners. So, on the consumer side, we have created a digital journey where our existing as well as new customers can come and apply for a loan with us, which will have a minimal documentation and a minimal data entry. And for the partners who want to create a large distribution network in the MSME segment, we have created a full stack API, which are like plug and play APIs, which helps in a faster go-to market. Now with this, I will hand it over to Love, who will talk about these two solutions in detail.
Thank you, Gaurav. Before I begin, maybe just to see the interest from the audience, just a quick show of hands if any of you have worked with MSMEs or are in any capacity dealing with MSMEs or are planning to do that as well. Great, great. So we have decent amount of interest in the audience. Great, that's very helpful. We are at GFF, right? And we are obviously talking about all of these digital solutions and how do we onboard MSMEs digitally. Everyone is doing that, right? So what's new? So basically the question in everyone's mind could be that, okay, hey, what is setting you guys apart, right? So let me try and take a stab at that. So as Gaurav mentioned, we have been at it for the last 5 years, right? In terms of working with literally the finest fintechs in the country and distributing consumer loans to them through their apps, right? And now that has set the standard and the bar really, really high for our underwriting capabilities, right? Not only do we need to process a lot of data, we have to process that in real time, and we need to give response times which are very, very stringent, right? Moreover, over the last 2 years since we launched our branch business, we have adapted our model, which was initially tuned to consumer lending, to how it can essentially adapt to a MSME lending sector as well, right? So both the things are essentially getting tested, our response time and our ability to adapt to the market, and we have actually proven ourselves in both the segments. Moreover, again, with the same test that our decisioning stack has had over the last 4 or 5 years, our technology stack and our engineering stack has faced the same tests, right? Ensuring high availability, high performance, and having API stacks that can integrate with partners at any edge of the journey. If you're starting out as a distributor to MSMEs and want to get into lending, we have your back. We can essentially have a app experience where you can redirect to us, and we can cover the consumer journey for you, right? We also have APIs where you can essentially, if you are already lending to your base, are already tied up with multiple lenders, you can essentially just orchestrate the journey on your app and call our APIs, right? Gaurav already mentioned this, but worth repeating. We are a AAA rated NBFC, right? And essentially the cost of fund advantage that we have is significant, right? And that is all essentially getting passed on to our end customers, which makes the commercial proposition also very, very attractive, right? Finally, the kind of segment that we are trying to attract over here, MSMEs, right? While this particular segment, the digital adoption has been fairly high, for a lending journey, there still remain certain opportunities where you can reach out to the customers and help them actually take the next steps in the journey. Whether it is with business KYC or whether it is with explaining the commercial terms to them in a little bit better manner, we have capabilities of essentially intervening at the segments where there is a chance of a drop-off, or at segments where the customers actually drop off, for us to assist them and take them ahead in the journey. So how do we enable all of this, right? So we have answered, what sets us apart. Let's see what our ecosystem looks like, right? So the cornerstone of our ecosystem is essentially our mobile app, which in addition to serving new customers and onboarding new customers onto a loan, also has the capabilities of servicing existing loans, which they have with us. So they can make repayments, access their repayment schedules, download documents, essentially everything that you would expect an MSME to want or a consumer to want as they're using the app. And we are adding capabilities literally every month. We also have real-time sync with our backend systems and backend portals, which enable our call center, so that at any point in time where the customer is facing a difficulty, the call center can intervene with context. So it makes a hell lot of a difference if you are sort of calling the customer and just talking about what you can do, or you're calling the customer in context and sort of helping them move the application to the next stage right there on the call, right? And all of this is built on the back of the DPI, digital public infrastructure that has been very graciously afforded to us by NPCI, by UIDAI, etc. Right? So we use extensively this account aggregator network, multiple bureaus, and the GSTN network to inform and enhance our decision-making capabilities. We use digital KYC to onboard the customers as seamlessly as possible, video PD as well. And once the customer's journey is complete and the sanction is completed, we set up the mandates and do a digital signature on the application form. So essentially, a completely seamless experience for the customers because of our ecosystem. Now, of course, there is a lot of talk here, but let me paint a picture, right? So imagine you are a partner and you want to start monetizing your MSME base. How can that journey look like? So essentially, you'll have some basic information capture capabilities within your app or your website or whatever your real estate is, which you can then seamlessly transfer over to us on APIs, and we can give you a go, no-go decision. After that, the journey can split multiple ways. If you have the capabilities of getting the journey done on your app itself, you want to control the user experience, you're very well capable of doing that, and you can just transfer over data to us over APIs. This is exactly what we do in the embedded finance world for consumers anyways. We also have capabilities where the customers can be redirected to our user interface, where essentially we can collect all of the information that is necessary and keep the customer moving along in the journey. And again, as I mentioned, at any given point in time, the customers have the capability of interacting with the call center, and the call center also has the context in which the customer is calling them. And finally, once the onboarding is completed and the credit decision is already positive, we have all of the KYC and compliant processes for e-sign and e-stamping, etc., done on our mobile app. Let me also paint a picture for our DIY consumer journey. May I request if the video can be played? So as they're setting up the video, I'll just set the context. So this is from our app, which is essentially live on the Play Store as well as on the App Store, where, as you can see, just by entering a few basic details and giving us a few consents, talking about what is the business type, who they are, and how much they are earning, we can essentially immediately start underwriting them. And once we collect enough information from their bank statements, we can give them an offer in real time. After that, the business verification by capturing their Udyam information is done digitally. And finally, the disbursement can also be done after they sign their agreement. All of this done digitally in both form factors, app journey as well as the partner-based journey. Thank you so much. And, this is basically our stack. We are live with the APIs, we are live with our app, we are live with our digital journeys. So, if any of you are interested in integrating with us, please feel free to get in touch. Or if you have any questions, we are happy to take those. Right? Thank you.